Bring your attention to the present moment. Become aware of your whole body from head to toes and toes to head. And also become aware of the environment around your body. Tune into your sensory perceptions of that. When we first tune into the body, we'll notice all kinds of different things. We might notice temperature in the room or some pain in the body somewhere. There's a bunch of different forms or ways that this shows up to be seen. If there's sounds in the room, then we might notice that, or maybe we'll notice sounds outside the room, traffic or birds, whatever is going on in your environment. So bring your mind in, bring your attention in, and focus on your internal environment. Notice your whole body from head to toes and what's going on in your body. And when we do that, one of the things we notice is there is sensation and sense perception coming in. If the eyes are open, we have color and shape and all of those visual cues. And with the eyes closed, the senses turn more towards touch and hearing and visual memory. We also notice that we can sense energy or sensation all through our body. There's perception of pressure where we're sitting or where the feet are on the floor. There's that kind of energy or sensation. There's also free-floating energy. We have a feeling of agitation in the body, perhaps. Maybe it's stronger in the arms or the legs. Or maybe we have a feeling of calm and relaxation. There's not that much going on, but it doesn't feel numb. It just feels kind of relaxed. Most of us have places where we have energy that's pretty familiar to us. It might be a knot in the gut, a tightness through the jaw, a pulsing in the throat, maybe a feeling of a tight contracted shield across the back of our shoulders. It's really good to become familiar with this energy, to know that it's there, to know what it means. And then when something shows up, we can inquire into that, sit with it, see what it is exactly that is going on there. And for now, really just noticing what's your environment in this moment. What do you feel like, kind of head to toes, on a body, physical level, and on an energetic level? And notice your breathing. We can notice the breath in the nostrils. We can notice there's air flowing through the nostrils and note the temperature, the smoothness, the continuity of the breath. We also notice how the body moves with the breath. There's movement in the chest and in the stomach area, perhaps the sides of the rib cage. And just like we have an environment in the room around us, we also have an environment in the mind or the thoughts. So notice that sometimes there's a lot of activity. Sometimes it's kind of compulsive. Sometimes it's quite relaxed. And the one thing that we always can count on with thoughts is that they're going to come and go. Most of us have patterns or habitual ways of thinking, habitual content, familiar things that come up. No thought lasts forever. thoughts arise and they either go away on their own or they might attach to a train of thought. But at some point we stop thinking and we rest in that for a moment. Thoughts are made up of images and words. Often they're triggered to sensation in the body. And during this inquiry, we're going to be looking exactly at that. So the inquiry this morning is around, what if I get what I want? Notice those words. What if I get what I want? And notice your response to the words. It would be likely that a lot of us would go, well, I don't know what I want, or how do I know what I want, or yeah, what would happen? Some people might have had images flash in or some circumstance come in. Well, what I really want is this, and then that would come in and we'd see a little bit of detail on that. And just as you're looking at those words or looking at images or anything else that was triggered by that, notice what's going on in your body. What is the energetic response to those words? What if I get what I want? What then? Remember to breathe. Let your breath be smooth and even. And look at what comes up. If there's energy that's shown up in your body in response to that, you can just pay attention to that for the moment. We're going to come back to that. But now let's go back to the images or words. Choose one thing that you really, really want. Take a moment to do that. If there's a visual component to that, really notice the picture. Notice the colors and vibrancy, and if there are people in it, if you're in it, let yourself sink into that and let yourself experience getting what you want, having some goal fulfilled or dream fulfilled. Let yourself really tune in and experience that. Notice the sounds in the room, any tactile sensations, other people that are there. Bring your full attention to that scenario of getting exactly what you want. You could run some video clips of it. You've achieved this goal, you're achieving it. What goes on now? What does that look like? Notice what's going on in your body as you're paying attention to that. Notice what's happening in your muscles, as well as what's going on energetically. What does it feel like inside when you really bring up that experience of getting exactly what you want? having a goal or a deeply held dream or belief showing up in real life. What does that feel like? What's the look on your face? What's your body language like? Who's around you? What's going on in your body as you're looking at that? We'll come back to that in a moment. For a moment, consider a different scenario. So remain with getting exactly what you want, achieving this goal, whatever it is that you're working with. And now consider, what is the worst thing that could happen if I was to get that, if I was to be living that way? What are the downsides? What's the worst thing that would happen? Continue to breathe. Notice that we're looking at a scenario that's not real. We're looking to see what comes up when we entertain that idea of, I've achieved or I am achieving this goal. I've got what I want. And what's the worst thing about that? What's the worst thing that could happen? Notice where that shows up in your body as energy. Notice how it's different from what was going on energetically a few moments ago when you were just looking at having achieved or achieving this goal. And scan your body for any sensation or energy that seems to have some intensity to it that might be good to sit with for a bit. Bring your attention there. Notice that this is a sensation or an energy that's come up while we're looking at this question. Notice the qualities of the sensation, the dimensions, what size it is, where it starts and finishes. If it has a color, if it's dark or light, pulsing or still, heavy, dense. If it has an image, notice that. And check to see if this energy is here to hurt you, if there's any sense of malice, or if it feels safe to look at it. Very intense sensations sometimes feel like they're not okay to look at. And when we get into it a bit deeper, often that's not actually the case. So take a good look at that. Does it feel okay for me to be paying attention to the sensation just right now? And if it's okay, see if you can move your attention right into the space, the very middle of the space where that energy is showing up. And so you're looking at your experience from the inside of that energy. Notice and pay attention to any words or images that might come up out of the energy. Why did this energy show up just now? Is there something that you need to know? Some reason it's here? And this is a observation. We're really sitting back and allowing whatever comes up to be seen and looked at. Let go of the cognitive layer of the mind and really just let this energy come forward and be seen. Pay attention. Notice what comes up. Continue to notice your breathing, that your body is in a room. If you're sitting on a chair, notice how your body is situated. And notice that your breathing can still happen, that we can still feel that flow of the breath in the nose and the movement of the body with the breath. And let's sit with that energy for another minute or two. Whatever it is that you're working with, see if you can bring your full attention to that. If images or words are coming up, have a look at those. Notice what comes up as you're looking at them. Notice if sometimes they might feel like it's a threat. Notice if the image or words themselves put you in immediate danger. And notice that you're looking at words and images. You're not actually in a situation. This is something that we're bringing up in the mind and looking at and feeling the energy that's associated with it. And then let go of that, looking at what could be the worst thing that would happen if you get what you want. And bring your attention back into your whole body again from head to toes. Notice any lingering words or images. Bring your attention back again to that feeling of, I have what I want, I've achieved my dream, I'm living in that way, whatever it is that you're working with. And notice again how you feel in your body. Notice what energy responds to that scenario. Notice if your breath perhaps got a bit smoother or deeper. Maybe your shoulders relaxed. What happens if I get everything I want? What happens if I get exactly what I want, what I've dreamed of, what I'm working for? And then bring your attention back to your whole body again and your breath. Let go of the question. Rest here for a few minutes. Reviewing the experience in your mind. Noticing what it was that came forward as what you really want. Remembering what that felt like. Your body and your breath and what was going on in your mind, your thoughts. Notice what came up, or remember what came up when we were looking at what is the worst thing that could happen if I get what I want. And how the experience of that shifted different thoughts, different sensations. And then coming back to this perspective of the whole body, letting go of the question. And come back to this inquiry anytime that you're interested in doing so. It can really help us to understand better what it is that's holding us back from going after what we want. And when you're ready, open your eyes.